Good morning everyone. So in today's lesson, let's see what we are going to learn today. So now let's start. Okay, so let's start our today's lesson with some questions. Name different parts of the cell. So in the previous lesson, we have learnt about different parts of the cell like cell wall, cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm and etc. Okay, now tell me what is the function of cell wall? Yes, you can write the function of cell wall in the chat box. Yes, cell wall basically it helps to protect the cell. Okay. And what is the important component of all the living cell? Any guesses? Any idea? Okay, so now let's see what is the important component of all the living cell, which is the most important part of a cell. Okay. So that we are going to learn today. Okay. Yes. So that most important part of cell is called nucleus, and nucleus is also called as the director of the cell. Okay. So I have pasted a picture of a nucleus. Let's see the structure of nucleus. Okay, you can see the structure of nucleus here. In this, I have made nuclear pore. Nuclear pore is also there. Nucleoplasma is there. This is the nucleoplasma. Okay. Then nucleolus. This is called the nucleolus. And this portion, this part is called nuclear membrane. Okay. So now let's see the structure of nucleus. I have some bullet points. Let's read out the points. The first point is nucleus is an important component of all the living cells. Okay. So it is a really very important component of all the living cells. The second point is it is generally spherical, as you can see in this picture also, spherical and located in the center of the cell. In the center of the cell. Okay. Nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a membrane called nuclear membrane. Which membrane? Nuclear membrane. With a microscope of high magnification, we can see a small spherical body in the cell, in the nucleus. It is called nucleolus. Okay, nucleolus. This yellow portion is called the nucleolus. A nucleus contains thread-like structure called chromosomes. So what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are thread-like structures which are present inside the nucleus. Okay. So you can see here in this is the nuclear pore, nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm and nucleolus. So I hope this diagram and this picture of nucleus is clear to you. I have a model. I have made a model of nucleus for you also. You can see here this yellow portion is nucleolus. This whole this pink portion is nucleoplasm. Okay. And in this the white holes, the white pores are there. You can see the white pores. I hope it's visible. So these white pores are called nuclear pores. Okay, these are nuclear pores and this circumference is nuclear membrane. Okay, so this is nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear membrane. This yellow portion is nucleolus. Okay, so I hope, and inside the nucleoplasm I have made a thread-like structures. I hope it's like visible to all of you. I have made this thread-like structure. See this threads-like structure, and these thread-like structures are called chromosomes, and these chromosomes are present inside the nucleus. Okay, so this is the diagram. This is the model of nucleus. Okay, so now let's move further. Okay, so I have some questions for you. So state true or false. Okay, so question first is nucleus is separated from cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. Is it true or false? You need to tell me whether it's true or false. You can write down your answers in the chat box. Nucleus is separated from cytoplasm. Is it true or false? By a nuclear membrane. Yes, so it is true. Very good. The next question is nucleus contains thread-like structure called, we have certain options. We have 4 options: nucleolus, chromosomes, nuclear membrane and none of these. So tell me Yes, you are right. The right option is chromosomes. Thread-like structures present inside the nucleus are chromosomes. Very good, students. So now let's move further. Okay, so here you need to label the part. Okay, so now I want you students to label the parts of this nucleus. Okay, so now let's label the parts. Okay, so this portion is called nuclear core. N U C L E A R, nuclear core. P O R E, nuclear core. This is nuclear membrane. Let me write here. Let me choose some other color. Okay, nuclear core. Nuclear, Nuclear, nuclear membrane. MEMBRANE. Okay, nuclear membrane. This is called nucleoplasm. NucleoPlasm, nucleoplasm. Sorry, this nucleoplasm. Okay, and this is called nucleolus. Nucleolus, nucleolus. Okay, so this yellow portion is nucleolus. This is nucleoplasm, whole portion, pink portion. This is nuclear core, and this is nuclear membrane. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Now let's move further. Okay, so next is the functions of nucleus and its part. So we have learned and we have studied about its structure, its parts. Okay, so now we should also know what are the function of nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is called the brain of the cell. Nucleus is called as the brain of the cell. Okay, it contains genetic material. So nucleus contains the genetic material, and it is coordinates or directs the cell's activity. So nucleus is basically the director of the cell, as I have told you earlier also. Okay, now the entire content of living cell is known as protoplasm. So entire content of living cell is called protoplasm. Okay, now see here, it includes cytoplasm and nucleus. So protoplasm is called the living substance of the cell. So protoplasm is equal to cytoplasm plus nucleus. So this is the protoplasm. Okay, this protoplasm is cytoplasm plus nucleus is called protoplasm. Now let's move. So here is the question. If your father has brown eyes, you may also have brown eyes. If your mother has curly hair, you might also end up having curly hair. Why is this so? Why this happens? You know why? Because we know that in nucleus there is genetic material present. Okay, genetic material, and that genetic material is responsible for transferring the characters of our parents to ourselves. Okay, you may have seen that your father is very tall. Okay, and your mother is also very tall. And sometimes what happens when their children comes, they also become tall. Okay, so this is because of the transfer or inheritance of their genetic characteristics, which transfer from parents to their offspring. Okay, so genetic material is responsible for that. So basically the answer is genetic material. Due to genetic materials which transfer from parents to their offspring. I hope it is clear. So now let's move further. Also, you can write down your answers in the chat box so that I can read it later on. Okay, so there is another questions for you. So first question is, where are chromosomes found in a cell? So you need to tell the answer from these given options. Okay. So the option first is cytoplasm, option B nucleus, option C जो है cell wall, and option D none of these. So you need to write your answer and choose your answer from these options. So tell me, where are chromosomes found in a cell? Yes, you are right. The answer is nucleus. Very good. So next is fill in the blanks. So next question is cytoplasm and nucleus makes what? You need to fill this blank. Yes. So the answer is protoplasm. Very good. Cytoplasm and nucleus makes protoplasm. Okay, very good. Okay, here you can see two types of cells are there, a prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Pro means new, advanced cells. Okay, U means earlier, older cells. Karyote means cell. Okay. So here we can see that ribosomes are present in eukaryotic and prokaryotic, both the cells. Mitochondria is there in eukaryotic cell. Okay. Nucleoid is present in prokaryotes. Okay. And you can see that a flagella is also present in prokaryotic cell. Cell wall is present in prokaryotic cell, and cell membrane is present in both the cells. So the similarities are here in eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Both the cells, ribosomes and cell membrane is present. Okay. Nucleus is present. Yes. But flagella is only present in prokaryotic cell. Okay. You need to remember that also. Okay, so now let's move further. Okay, so now we have to read the prokaryotes, about prokaryotes. So the first point is the nucleus of bacterial cell is not well organized. Okay, in prokaryotes, the nucleus is not well organized like the cells of multicellular organisms. Okay, there is no nuclear membrane. There is no nuclear membrane. In prokaryotic cells, there is no nuclear membrane. Okay. The cells having nuclear material without nuclear membrane are termed as prokaryotic cells. So in prokaryotes, those cells which do not have nuclear membrane is called prokaryotic cells. Okay. The organism with these kinds of cells are called prokaryotes, and these organisms which have prokaryotic cells are called prokaryotes. So here it is written here that pro means primitive, older, okay, and karyon means nucleus. So do remember that also. Pro means primitive, karyon means nucleus, okay. So here are some examples of prokaryotes. Examples are bacteria and blue-green algae, okay. So is it clear to all? I hope it is clear. Okay, so now let's move further. Now next comes the eukaryotes. So first of all, we have studied about the prokaryotes, and now we are going to read about the eukaryotes. So now let's see. The cells like onion cells. Onion cells, you must have remembered that I have shown you the onion cells, okay, and the cheek cells with a diagram, isn't it? So yes, now read. The cells like onion cells and cheek cells having well-organized nucleus. In the prokaryotic, the nucleus was not well defined and well organized, isn't it? But in eukaryotes, nucleus is well organized with a nuclear membrane. With a nuclear membrane are designed are designed designated or known as eukaryotic cells. Okay. All organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae are called eukaryotes. So all organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae are called eukaryotes. Okay. So here U means true, carrion means nucleus. So remember that. Okay. U means true and carrion means nucleus. So here are some examples. Example are plant and animal cells. So plant and animal cells comes under eukaryotic cells. Okay. Now let's move. Okay, so here is another question for you. and I want you to write down the answer in the chat box. Okay, two or three differences. So you need to differentiate between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Okay. So there is another question for you. So question 1 is a difference between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells is in having, there are four options: ribosomes, cell wall, nuclear membrane, none of the above. So you have to mention a difference, okay, between the eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. So write down your answers in the chat box and I will check it from there. Okay. Okay, so another is match the following type questions. Okay, so you need to match this. In column A, it is written eukaryotes and prokaryotes. In column B, here it is written nucleus is absent, nucleus is present. So you need to match this. So tell me, in eukaryotes, nucleus is present or absent? Yes, nucleus is present. Okay, in prokaryotes, nucleus is absent. Very good. So now let's move further. So yes students, now it's time to recapitulate whatever we have studied till now. So students, today we have learnt about structure and function of nucleus. Structure and function of nucleus. We have seen different parts of a nucleus and we have also defined and studied about each part. As also I have shown you this 3D model of nucleus. Okay. So now what we have learned today is we have draw a well-labeled diagram of nucleus. Okay. Next is explain structure and function of different parts of nucleus with appropriate diagram. Yes. Third is define the term chromosome. We have also defined the term chromosomes and where it is present. Differentiate between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell with diagram. We have seen the diagram of prokaryotes and eukaryotes and from therein we have find out the similarities and differences between these two diagrams. So here is the first question for you and the question is the control unit of all cell is. Control unit of cell is. So here is the option. Option A nucleus, option B cell wall, option C is cytoplasm and D all of this. So tell me. Yes, you are right. So it is the nucleus. So question 2 is define chromosomes. So try to define the chromosome. Tell me what are chromosomes? So chromosomes are thread-like structure present inside the nucleus. Very good. This is called chromosomes. Give examples of eukaryotes and prokaryotes. So you have to write this answer in the chat box. Examples of eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Okay. So let me tell you examples of eukaryotes are plants and animals. Okay, and examples of prokaryotes are bacteria and blue-green algae. Don't forget that. Okay, now let's move further. Okay, so yes students, now the homework part. Now come the homework part, and in homework I have included two questions. Okay, so question first is sketch the well-labeled diagram of nucleus and write its function. So you have to draw the well-labeled diagram of nucleus. Okay, label the parts, label the each part of nucleus and write its function. Okay, function of nucleus, 3 or 4 functions. The second question is state the difference between eukaryotes and prokaryotes with diagram. So you have to draw a eukaryotic cell and a prokaryotic cell and write down the differences. Okay. So I hope this is clear for you. Okay. So thank you very much. This is all for today's class.